area on the southeastern end of the island holds the ignominy of being ranked the poorest parish in the country. St. Thomas has a poverty prevalence of above 30%, and surveys show that at least 40% of households still have a pit latrine. But there's a new highway in St. Thomas, raising hopes among residents that rapid development will follow. Will the new road present a new dawn or a false dawn for the people in the East? That's the topic today on Lead Story. I'm here, you're ready, let's go. Good evening, welcome to Lead Story here on CVM TV. My name is George Davis. We're putting St. Thomas under the microscope this evening because of recent developments in a parish long the butt of jokes. You would have heard or seen on social media people ribbing people from St. Thomas, and I use rib purposefully because of the lack of even a KFC in the parish. Based on what the government says, those days are numbered, the days of St. Thomas being the butt of jokes and being backward where development is concerned, because with the new highway, rapid development is set to follow. To get a handle on where things are and what are the next logical steps in this process towards development, I've invited the Member of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson, to give some perspective. For the record, we did reach out to persons from the PNP in the parish for some perspective on the development plans for St. Thomas, but they declined the interview this afternoon. Can't understand why anyone would not want to speak about St. Thomas's development at this time, the pace of save especially. Before we introduce Mr. Robertson though, we prepared a vox pop for you because we deployed a team to St. Thomas just to gauge the reaction of persons about, to the developments that are promised for St. Thomas, the fact of the highway being complete, and the things that they've heard in the media that are to follow. We asked if they feel as if St. Thomas is poised for takeoff.
Let me say, it's a good one because it brings more opportunity to this parish called St. Thomas, and people kind of have St. Thomas on the map at a certain little way, in which now getting a brand new road, infrastructure, and then this new urban center that is building in Morant Bay. Now this will create more opportunity. We have more tourist resorts into St. Thomas, which will get more enlightened now because of this road.
The development is excellent. I just wish it could speed up a bit more, get it over with and done. But I'm so happy about it because it makes going about a bit easier. You can access things easier. I'm so happy about it, really and truly. Just want it to speed up a bit more and just get over with.
Road development a great thing, man, a great aspect for St. Thomas. A long time we there wait for it to cut the whole of the rest of the island get it already. So right now, we're generous. We're glad for it.
St. Thomas's time has come, perhaps looks to be the sentiment from the respondents there. MP Robertson, the sentiment from from people from St. Thomas, almost said your constituents, but who knows where they're from in St. Thomas. There's a positivity among St. Thomas residents that hasn't been in the speech of St. Thomas residents for a long time. Your reaction to that?
I believe you are correct. Your opening comments, I take on board. We have been the butt of a lot of jokes for a long time. But I am a St. Thomas man. I am from St. Thomas. We have been working at this, trying to connect our people man to land for about 25 years. I have taken this on. We always knew if we didn't build our bridges, the infrastructure, road infrastructure, if we didn't bring in new technology, digital technology at a cost that St. Thomas people could afford, we would not be here. Let me just indicate quickly, those 3 individuals you have interviewed, if you had interviewed 100 people, you would have gotten almost the same sentiment right through. At this time, coming here, I got a call from a businessman from Mandeville. We just purchased some land. What do you think we should do? I said, free advice is advice. You have done the right thing. Go out there and see what your future will be.
Yes.
People are investing in St. Thomas in droves.
On the point of the future, here's the thing. Many decades ago, St. Thomas was set up largely for agriculture, subsistence farming largely, but you had big businesses. You had the Surge Island business. We all know of Bowden Estates, Bowden Charter. They even had a healthy horse breeding industry in St. Thomas, and I know that you're a racing man in some respects. We all know about the Goodyear Tire Factory. So the structure of the parish in terms of the jobs on offer, low-skilled jobs, subsistence farming, and farming at a higher level, but not at the highest level. That was how the employment picture in St. Thomas was shaped long ago. Those are old days. What will the new employment picture look like?
Okay, so with the highways and all that almost 90% complete, let's turn now to the urban center. The urban center has 2 adult training centers. One, a full-fledged university will be coming, and you have Hart going to be offering some courses to our residents. We'll be working diligently on making sure that the citizens are at speed, ready to take advantage of the future. The BPO sector is coming to St. Thomas at the new urban town center. We're looking at almost 4,000 jobs there.
Yes.
You're looking at high-end tourism. You're looking at ecotourism, heritage tourism. I can tell you, St. Thomas's future is bright. Let me break it down this way to you. The road infrastructure in St. Thomas that we have been able to develop so far allows individuals to go to work and come home to their residence at, I would say, a fraction of the time that now, let's say, Portmore, Old Harbour. So we are competitive. You have to understand that all of this was envisaged in a study that took place in 2008.
Yes.
IDB did the study saying that this would be the result if the government found a way to invest in the infrastructure of the East.
Yes.
And that study was correct.
Yes. On the
That study, I must say,
Yes.
was commissioned by Audley Shaw and Don Webby
Yes.
in 2008. The Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB study,
Yes.
it predicted this.
On the point of studies from multinational organizations, the World Bank has a famous quote where it says that roads are the arteries of economic activity. St. Thomas doesn't have all the roads, but now it has a major road development that it didn't have before. What about the other significant parts of the parish that need the kind of connection to the road network to make it truly representative and opportunities abound?
Well, let me indicate, let us recall, a part of this road infrastructure that we're speaking about is the Morant Bay, York, Seaforth, Trinityville, Cedar Valley. And that road is finished.
Yes.
It is a matter now where the engineers are actually doing remedial work in terms of where they may have built a structure such as a bridge in York that's not wide enough. That's being done. Stanley Consultants, National Work Agency. So you have to understand that we did look at it and we did try our best in the first stage to do the road Morant Bay to Cedar Valley. And when you travel on that road, you're going from sea level to almost the foothills of the Blue Mountain Peak in record time. And that is complete.
That is complete. Hold the point there. We have a lot of ground to cover. We're talking St. Thomas here, and I have in studio the Member of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson. Much more on Lee's story after these.
I'm Celine Gordon, host of Holy Road.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy John Mark Wigan, host on the show Holy Road. Listen, people need to know what's happening in the churches and in ministry in all of Jamaica. It's an absolute blessing. We're really excited to share this.
Tune in to CVM. See it happen.
Come, the race has begun. I've traveled the seas, I've traveled the waters. Once I was weak, now I'm much stronger. I've worked in the sun, look what I've become. I've conquered the beast, now I'm much greater. I've learned from a failure. Dedication, discipline and drive. Seizing every moment that comes up in this life.
We're in Portland today. I'm trying to find Mac's funeral home. Tavio. I'm trying to find Tavio. She's, I think, a mortician from a funeral home.
This is her.
No, ma'am, I'm looking for a mortician.
This is her.
All right.
The owner, mortician, embalmer, restorative artist.
No, to the lie. Why you have them said R.I.P. sign every day? I say, no. I say, Lord, cover me.
Lead story this evening takes on St. Thomas. The fact of the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project now running through the parish. It takes a ridiculously short time from the Harborview roundabout to go to Morant Bay. I made the drive about 3 Saturdays ago, and by the time I got to Morant Bay, I couldn't believe that I was in Morant Bay already. I remember the arduous task it was to traverse that section of the island, and it already is a game changer in terms of saving time. And of course, as they say, time equals money. The Member of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson, is with me. Here's the thing. We can't escape this fact, MP, that insofar as the political representation in St. Thomas has been concerned over the years, that there have been many things regarding the work of the representatives, MPs, and those who sit on the municipal corporations that leaves a lot to be desired. You've been in situ in Western St. Thomas since 2002, so you're, 22 years strong as a Member of Parliament there. Many people say, notwithstanding the fact that a major road was not in St. Thomas before now, their political representatives, the elected ones, ought to, could have, should have done better. Your response to that?
Thank you for that question and the way you've put it. I think that we have done, or I have done, tremendously well in representing the people of West St. Thomas.
By what measures?
The level of investment that has taken place in West St. Thomas per capita is unchallenged. We have the greatest spend of government taxpayers' dollar for the last 10 years. So pound for pound, I will tell you, I'm the most successful Member of Parliament in terms of getting infrastructure and investment. The $6 billion urban town centre, the Prime Minister came and looked and viewed, it's on time. That's a major, it's the first urban town centre, first renewal of a town, renewal of a city. And it is already the talking point. I mean, companies are jostling to get in there. When you speak about the amount of bridges we had to build, we had to connect all areas. For example, between Seaforth and Trinityville, and you spoke of Surge Island, there was no bridge there. I have built more bridges and connected more districts, more towns to Jamaica, to the map, to people, to their future, to education. When you have the challenges we have had, we were the forgotten parish. We are no longer the forgotten parish. Young people are boasting that they come from St. Thomas. When you see sports people riding their bicycles on a Saturday and a Sunday and enjoying the view, the road, and what has been developed there, you'll have to understand what we have been able to achieve by keeping our people united, focused, to be able to now celebrate this has been tremendous work.
But hold on,
and representation.
From the point that the highway project was announced to this point where it's 90+% complete, that's a captive period, that's recent history. Let's go before, because the charge is that St. Thomas's development could have been further advanced was if the political representation was stronger. And you've pointed to things that you've done in the Western side. Well, let me ask you this. The Survey of Living Conditions, that most controversial of documents, points to St. Thomas having the highest share of people in the country using pit latrines. The 2015 survey said, what, 52.7%? I was shocked. The most recent surveys has it well over 40%. Of what share of that number does Western St. Thomas account for?
I could never answer that question or attempt to know what share we have. I can only tell you, the outlook, as you saw, for our people is positive. You could never turn around what I would say is 160 years almost of underinvestment. We have had underinvestment in St. Thomas for a long period of time. We did have the Goodyear factory. We did have the the centers of, I would say, in the 80s and before, even before the 60s, where Bob Lightburn, had built factories and got investment.
Yes.
But when you have infrastructural deficiency, no roads, you have to understand, Western Europe was built and changed after World War II only because of the construction of highways, bridges, and infrastructure. I can tell you, to do it in 22 years, a lot of people never believed it was possible. Let me tell you what's happening in St. Thomas now. You have people investing now in the Bull Bay area, 11 miles, in homes that are now valued at almost $500,000 for 2-bedroom units. We also have now the NHT coming in with starter units to put in serious investment. We weren't getting that before. We now have people looking at all kinds of activities.
But I hear you on that.
And it's so positive.
Let me draw your attention to this. PATH, the number of people, 2021 study. Look at this graphic. PATH beneficiaries by parish and the category registered December 2021. St. Thomas second in terms of having the highest number of beneficiaries on PATH. You would say that that is the reality because of decades of underdevelopment, that you never had the funding to
let us not forget what our national hero, Paul Bogle, marched for. Let us not forget why he is a national hero. He spoke about representation. He spoke about tax investment, people getting a return on their tax dollar, services. Let me say this to you. The fact that St. Thomas has a large percentage of people on PATH, means that as Member of Parliament, I must have done a lot of good work to encourage people to take advantage of what is due to them. And I enjoy you smiling and chuckling. If you are a Member of Parliament and you realize that your people have no real access to jobs, to the future, to education, and you're able to work with them, hold it together, and now deliver this sort of return, it is tremendous.
All right, I want to squeeze this one.
And good representation. And they are rewarding me for it because I didn't come here to showboat or talk about politics. But the people of St. Thomas have a clear vision of where they're going.
All right, so here's the thing. The Panama disease wiped out banana in St. Thomas. The yellowing disease did a number on coconut that you've not recovered from. There's a big farm in Nuts River which is carrying the fight. That
doing
operation.
A good job, yes.
But so I asked you earlier.
Blacks.
Again, blacks. Again, Michael Black. Again, agriculture, farming were the mainstays. The new St. Thomas will have what? IT? Will it have services? What will be the main employment drivers in the parish based on where things are now? Is what the question.
Well, within the urban town centre, a $6 billion investment. Is being built out space for almost 4,000 jobs. People will be coming into the parish because at this time we will not have enough residents within St. Thomas to fulfill those jobs. So St. Thomas's future will be there. We may be one of the few areas to actually capture and maintain Vision 2030 for our people. We will have transformed our landscape and our people's future.
I hear you on that. Let's break for the final segment here on Lead Story. Talking about St. Thomas, we know what it has looked like. We know what it looks like now. We want to know what it will look like in the future from this starting point of a highway, a new road, renewed optimism, and a tantalizing prospects for the future of the parish that was for so long forgotten.
On Royal Palm Estate.
I am going to get to the bottom of this case. I owe that to Julia Blackburn.
In the middle of all of that, why you not try to find out who shoot Richard Blackburn there?
When is Pam Pam coming back?
I have some bad news about Pam Pam, miss.
Oh, what now, Joyce?
Well, she's making a baby.
You want to come practice feel up with me and then come say you never had sexual intercourse with me?
The Bible says we must not commit fornication. The Bible does not say that we must not caress.
If I have business to conduct, then I do come into Kingston.
just like Ted.
Are you referring to my dear departed husband?
Oh yes, my dear departed baby father.
Well, you can't be a master for that.
Why you say that?
A master never knows how to do the damage.
Royal Palm Estate is on CVM every Tuesday and Sunday at 9 p.m.
Hi, I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tammy.
And we are the Mitchells. You can watch Meet the Mitchells right here on CVM TV every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yes, you guys don't want to miss it. We will be having new episodes every week, so definitely follow along with our family.
Meet the Mitchell family.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Jamaicans are funny people, you know. The things that they use as the basic marks of development. For years they said St. Thomas is not a real parish because the parish doesn't have a stoplight. They can't say that anymore. There are stoplights in St. Thomas. And the ultimate one, they say, look, there's no outlet of KFC in the parish, so it's not a real parish. That jibe can still be offered because it's not quite there yet, but it's in the plan, and not too long from now that won't be able to be used anymore to make St. Thomas people feel lesser than. The MP for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson, is with me. And I want to talk to you about tourism in this last segment because your colleague on the government benches in the House of Representatives, Ed Bartlett, has said that where tourism is concerned in St. Thomas, he's looking at a total investment to do what's necessary there of about $760 million US dollars, of which over $760 million US dollars, of which over 500 million will come from private investment. Obviously, the government is not in a position to spend 700 and odd million US dollars. What will the kind of tourism in St. Thomas look like, and how will it be different from what's on offer in the Grill, in Ocho Rios, and in Montego Bay?
Oh, quickly on that. In the earlier segment, I spoke about St. Thomas being part of heritage tourism, yes, ecotourism. We won't be part of the high density. What the town hall meetings, and we've had many with Minister Ed Bartlett coming out there and his team, what we have signed off on and what the vision for St. Thomas and our tourism is not the same tourism that you're seeing in most of Jamaica now on the North Coast. Mm-hmm. It will not be high rises, it will be high-end tourism, it will be eco-friendly tourism. So we have a vision of what it's going to be like, and we've already seen that roll out. People are already building villas and small units and small complexes. Mm-hmm. So that's bright. Let me touch quickly on something you said. Mm-hmm. Our culture. We have announced that the old town is going to be turned into the first Rail Cultural Center museum, mm-hmm, capturing Jamaica's mm-hmm history and our heritage. So we look forward to that. That announcement the Prime Minister made, I believe it was a year ago, not recently, and he has repeated it. Mm-hmm. So we are very bullish on that and what it's going to do for us. So yes, we'll have our new urban town center, mm-hmm, but we will also be redeveloping our old cultural centers and our history. So that's positive. But let me just say to you, you keep speaking about Kentucky.
Yes.
Our cuisine, from the chicken to the pork to yes, how we do our fish, yes, is a little different from what you find anywhere else in Jamaica. Oh? Yes. We have had people who really study cuisine and different culinary skill sets.
Use Ed Bartlett's word, gastronomy.
Gastronomy, yes, skill sets. Yes. And they have said that St. Thomas, they do notice that we have a little different, more retention of the African use and seasoning of our meats, etc.
Yes.
Why didn't you stop in Yallis and spend some time with our jerk?
Yes.
We want to believe that, yes, Portland,
yes,
and St. Thomas have retained, yes, the real jerk culture.
Yes. Insofar, so tourism looks to be the huge frontier. But in terms of the skills, across the island there is a labor shortage, as your government keeps telling people. The opposition says nonsense. The business people seem to be supporting the JLP that there is a labor shortage. St. Thomas has suffered over the years from youngsters, bright youngsters, high school, leave to go tertiary, never come back. Or man just grew up, turn 18, 16, never come back. Where are you going to find the people to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that are now opening up? It's a very important thing.
Let me indicate. If you are traveling around Jamaica or anywhere in the world, you run into hundreds of individuals who says, I'm from St. Thomas. If you're in Ocherius, our residents are there, our citizens are there. They didn't sell their homes. Their families in St. Thomas, they are already beginning to come back. I know individuals who are beginning to leave many areas all over the world and are already coming back to invest in St. Thomas. If you look at the construction in St. Thomas, I believe it is on pace or ahead of the rest of the country in this boom that we are having.
30 seconds to go. You know the school I'm from. I have to ask you a political question. We hear from time to time the Prime Minister shuffling his deck where the cabinet is concerned. You've not held a cabinet post for a long, long time. Are you still keen on serving at that level?
I made up my mind 12 years ago. Once you get a hand, you play your hand. I believe the hand I've played exceptionally well.
Yes.
I have served the people of West St. Thomas and all of St. Thomas and the East. I believe I have carried out the work of Paul Bogle to make St. Thomas no longer the forgotten parish. And I'm so proud of that and happy with that. Let me say this to you. I am not young. I was once your age. I was once younger when I came into this. At 57 going 58, I only want to serve my people now.
So you have no cabinet ambitions left?
Absolutely no interest in serving at any other level.
So if the Prime Minister calls you to the OPM and says, James, I want you to serve in this year, you'll tell him no?
I'm one of the few people that would tell my Prime Minister at this time, Andrew Holness, I will serve in other ways. I believe at this time, it would not be best for me.
Not the best, not in your best interest,
and
my
family's interest and my company's interest and what I've developed.
Hear you on that. Well, folks, St. Thomas, open for business, they say. I've driven the road. It makes a world of a difference to leave St. Andrew, Kingston, to go into St. Thomas and return. It's not a nightmare anymore. A friend of mine, high-profile broadcaster here in Jamaica, bought a home in St. Thomas 2 years ago, sold it because he says it took too much travel time to get there and back. He's crying now because he regrets the decision, because now that house is well out of his reach based on how the market is shaping up. Great things are happening in St. Thomas, but the plans need to be sober. The plans must include the people. It can't be the plan that the political party in charge wants to implement because of political reasons. It has to look holistically at the parish. It has to stay true to St. Thomas's rich heritage. They have to build a tourism infrastructure and architecture that offers something markedly different from the usual fare in Moby, in Negril, and in Ocherius. It has to be unique. St. Thomas has the opportunity as Virgin Territory to be anything it wants